I got advice actually from a photographer, and they wanted to know about the correlation between the industry that we are in, mainly like the creatives, the freelance life, and how it pertains to the law of attraction. So, I'm familiar with the law of attraction. I know a lot of models have spoken about it, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but basically it's like when energies, they attract one another. So it's like whatever you put out, like what kind of work you put out, what kind of vibes you put out, it's going to attract or repel someone, right? So that's how I view the most simple way of describing the law of attraction. I know it's like a whole philosophy and all that, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just gonna focus more on the creative tips that I can give you to attract the type of people you want to work with. So the first step is actually like figuring out who do you want to work with, like what brands do you admire. If there's not a brand, do you want to create your own, etc. And so when you figure out what kind of brands you want to work with, you're going to easily figure out what kind of people work with those brands, and I honestly believe an authentic approach is the most successful type of approach for this, because it just shows that you're actually interested in what someone is doing and you just want to support them. So a really big thing about the law of attraction, or just attracting what you want and what you need, is supporting each other, no matter what their title, no matter what their status, and even if they don't have one, like if they're a student, it's okay, because you just never know who that person will grow up to be. So I feel like my number one advice for creatives networking is give everyone a chance when you're first starting off, okay? Because people gave you a chance when you first started off, right? So you have to do the same. But as you keep giving people chances and you're working through different types of characters, different kinds of identities and people and attitudes and moods and vibes and energies, you're going to quickly know what kind of people you want to be surrounded with and what kind of people you don't want to be surrounded by. And that is going to be the breaking point for you to, kind of find your niche, kind of find the place that you vibe with. Like for me, I got along so well with the makeup artist on set, the hair artist on set, the photographer on set. In the beginning, I didn't really get along with a lot of models. So, that really wasn't my focus. I just kept becoming friends with all these cool photographers who, wanted to shoot me. So I would go all the way to LA, take a train, invest my time with them, have a meal with them, and I would just ask them their story, like, how did you get here? Because that was the one thing that really intrigued me. I didn't really care about, what type of career they had. I really cared about what kind of person they were. And that was literally the deciding factor for me, and what helped me decide who I wanted to work with, like continuously. And I know as a photographer, what you want to do is expand your network and your reach, and I think it's a great thing, but I do have to say, yes, be careful. There's tons of toxic people that I have met in this industry, and you live and you learn, okay? I'm gonna say it. Thankful they were in my life so I would know the difference, what true friendship was. And I didn't have to feel guilt tripped or manipulated all the time. And all those things take away from our emotional energy, and that's what we need to create, okay? Talking to this person who asked me for advice in the DMs, and they were telling me about, reach out to people, but I also want to, create for myself and be secluded. And I think what truly makes a great creative is having both, so on one hand, you're constantly trying to find people you want to work with. And finding those people isn't easy sometimes, but if you follow someone, who has like a good energy, and you constantly like their work and you constantly comment and you just like literally vibe with that person, you will manifest working with that person. But you have to put in the work, you have to start some conversations, you have to, start liking some posts and just have a genuine interaction with them, because honestly, you're just curious about them. And You know, I think that's one thing about me is like I don't really have a filter. So when I see work I like, I'm like, oh my God, like we have to work. And I don't think about it. Like I don't think about saying like, oh my God, should I message them? Oh my God, I love your work. I just kind of did it. And in that way, I am kind of like an extrovert, but I'm also an introvert because I do like my own space. And I feel like it's really important for me to have my own space to create as well. That's another subject, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you like it's almost like an impulse for me when I see someone, like I don't care who they are, you know, whether they're out of my league or whether they're in my league or whether, like, I just don't care about that. I care about their work. And I'm telling you, the number one thing I do is I go to their website, I look at all their work, I read their bio, and I'm like, okay, so this person has the same vibe as me. They're free, they're fun, they're creative, they're bold, they want to break boundaries. All right, yeah, let's work, you know, and you just never know what's going to happen from that. Sometimes friendships, you know, bloom because of that. And sometimes you realize, okay, I don't want to work with that kind of person because they did this and they're like this and etc. And you're just going to know like the type of behavior you don't want to be around. So important, especially networking. I know how scary it can be to, you know, reach out to someone and be like, hey, you know, I don't have money, but I want to create with you. Like, I know that feeling, guys, and trust me, I have done so many test shoots because of that reason. And you know what? I never regret it because even though if I didn't get money, if I didn't get paid for my time, I got something else. I got experience from like a professional. I got some badass images that it's insane, you know, the creativity, the magic, the synchronicity was all there, and that's what I got. And I got a wonderful fucking day with creatives that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. Like, how can that compare with money? Let's talk about the switch. So this person asked using my network to get hired by brands and things like that. So when I heard that question, I was kind of like, well, so the first thing you have to do is build your brand, figure out what story do you want to tell, because if you look at today's climate and today's society, like, you need to have a conversation. You need to have meaning in your brand or it will simply not sell because people don't care anymore. And that's on that period, okay? So you need to figure out, you know, I'm a creative. What do I want to represent? What do I, you know, want to create? What do I want to contribute? How can I help people? And I think those are fundamental questions, you know, in establishing what kind of brand you want. So for example, mine is very like hustle mode, very like work with what you have, you know, and if you don't have much, you really don't need much to create. And that's the message I'm telling everyone, because creativity, guys, it's a gift. It's in our brains. Like, you cannot buy it and you cannot just find it anywhere. It's literally our gift, right? So the thing that we need the most is to find the tools, to find the people who can help us express that gift. And if you can't find the people, it's okay, because you have yourself. And that's actually one of the best things you can do is, you know, work on building your own portfolio, work on building your own network, building your own friendships, you know, and experimenting. That's the key to networking. And I don't really like that word because it just feels like, oh, I'm here to network, you know, and to me, network has this negative connotation of just like using people and name dropping and name dragging and all these things. So I just like to say create. I just want to create with you, you know, and you know, it's an amazing feeling just to create with people. And yes, I do believe if, you know, if you are in an environment where people, you know, they don't see your vision, they don't understand you, they don't understand your beliefs, yeah, you should move to a place where you're valued, where, you know, you can have those opportunities. Like, I live an hour away from LA, but I take the train just so I can work with those people, because those people, they're doing what I want to be doing, you know, and I want to be surrounded by that energy constantly. So if it means I have to take an hour train ride from where I live to there, I will do it. I will do it gladly. You know, I'll invest my time, money, and energy just to go there, because that's where the opportunity is, you know, and you should be there. Don't just say like, okay, willy-nilly move your life there. No, I say you should, you know, take a trip over here, shoot with people over here, and like figure out who you want to work with, who you want to be with. And it's great if you could already have a connect in LA or wherever you want to go, in New York, etc., because you're going to need friends when you're starting a new journey, right? So yeah, but if you already have friends, you know, come out here every so often and shoot and see if you can book real jobs, you know, and get hired by clients and get the money. Is you have to really be showing on your feed that you're worth it, you know. And I know it sounds complicated to say like, oh, to show like you're doing well and etc. But I think it just really means showing your honest progress about where you're at and where you want to go. Like, you know, clients want to hire people who have dreams, who have big aspirations because they want to be big too, you know. So if you don't talk about your ambitions, you don't support other people, like why would a client want to hire you? So bottom line is, if you want to switch up to, you know, networking to book clients to get the money, you have to be very smart about how you approach them, you know. And you should always approach them in a very human way, but also tell them like, you know, these are my rates, this is what it is. And sometimes you have to explain why, because people just don't get it. So do what you can do, but if your work speaks for itself, that is the goal, okay? And you want that. You want your work to speak for itself, so you don't have to explain why you should get paid X amount, you know? That's definitely what I have to say, my 2 cents about it. Law of attraction is real, energies are real. I've honestly heard like really big clients saying like, if that model has an attitude and she can't even wear a mask on set, like I'm not gonna book her. It's that serious now because, you know, wearing a mask protects not only you, it protects everyone else on set. So if you have a good vibe, if you're helpful, if you listen, if you actually care about what you do and you care about the people that you work with, you're gonna be successful and you're gonna create. And you know, whatever you create, that is literally gonna be your legacy. The energy is the one thing they always look at immediately. How do you enter the room? Are you like slouched, or are you like up and you're just like ready to go? Like that's literally me. I'm always ready to go no matter what, you know. And that's kind of the attitude you need to have when you want to work with people. And you know, you don't want to work with someone who doesn't even have like the confidence, because you want to work with confident people, okay? And you know, there's another thing, like, yes, there are confident people, but I also do work with, you know, students who aren't that confident in their abilities yet, because I believe in growth, I believe in potential, and those jobs working with students have landed me paid jobs, guys. You'd be so surprised. But that's the truth. If they really see the effort, the work, everything you put into, they will pay you gladly, and you don't have to argue your rate. Like that's the goal we all want to reach, right? And it's totally attainable. You just need to be smart about it, and you know, don't go too high up and don't sell yourself too short. You need to find a competitive rate that is okay with you and you know the type of work you do. So that really like comes down to you and research and asking other people, asking other models. Like sometimes if a client approaches me and I don't know how to handle the situation, I ask my agency model friends, and they're so freaking sweet and kind. They tell me the truth of, you know, this is what it's like, Lena. This is the type of budget they'd have, Lena. And I listen to them, you know, and then I add my own touch of creativity. But how you reply to that client, you know, that's gonna be what's gonna get you booked or what's not gonna get you booked, you know. And that's why it's so important to work with a lot of people so that they can refer you. That is like the number one way to ensure a booking, guys. Like I've been booked paid big campaigns because people have just referred me, like, hey, you know, this girl, I shot with her once in LA, like she was so cool. And they booked me for a major beauty campaign, a major, you know, any ad campaign I did, I got it because it was a referral. And that's exactly what you want and what you need, because you know, people will trust that opinion than just aimlessly choosing someone at random. Like they want to know about you. And that's why we have social media, to tell our story, to show people who we really are, you know. And that's why I use social media as a diary of my progress, of what I really go through, even if I'm going through shitty times, you know, and clients find out, like that's fine with me. Because you know, clients aren't forever, so you'll find different types of clients that work with you. Try your best to be surrounded by people who care about your growth, and those people will grow with you, and that is the best way to build a relationship that lasts forever. You'll have a forever friend, you know. And that is what I'm extremely blessed about in this industry, is that I have found my people who understand me, who have the same struggles as me, who we talk to all the time, who we just hang out and have good times with. Like, at the end of the day, you want to find your team, you know, your people who are day ones who support you, and success is just gonna go up from there, guys. So keep believing in people, believe in yourself, and do not give up when a person says no to you, because the next person can say yes. So thank you so much for asking this question. I was really excited to answer it because it's something I really strongly believe in.